Hi students, wonderful welcome to my channel Atom Bio 360. So in last class we discussed about glycolysis pathway. So the first half of the glycolysis, that is energy investment phase. Otherwise the first half of the glycolysis is called activation phase. So for activation, two ATP molecules required. So for activation of glucose. So the second half of the glycolysis pathway, that is called energy extraction phase. So the energy extraction phase is important for production of energy. So the energy is produced in the form of ATP. So 4 ATP is directly synthesized in the glycolysis, second half of the glycolysis, and 2 NADH molecules synthesized in the second half of the glycolysis. We will start calculation of glycolysis, calculation of ATPs in the glycolysis. So see here, 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. So this is the one reaction in glycolysis. So 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is converted into 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate. So 2 molecules involved. So for 1 molecule 1 ATP is produced and 2 molecules is involved. So 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate involved in the reaction for the formation of 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate. So because of this, there is a production of 2 ATP. So 2 ATP molecules produced are synthesized in this reaction. So in this reaction, 2 ADP and inorganic molecules is converted into 2 ATP molecules. And another reaction, that is last reaction in the glycolysis. So last reaction in the glycolysis, that is 2 molecules of phosphoenol pyruvate is converted into 2 molecules of pyruvic acid. So 2 molecules of phosphoenol pyruvate is converted into 2 molecules of pyruvic acid. So in this reaction, for 1 molecule 1 ATP is synthesized, but 2 phosphoenol pyruvate molecules involved in this reaction. So because of that, 2 ATP molecules produced in this reaction. Okay, so and another reaction, that is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. So this reaction is responsible for the production of 2 NADH2. Okay, so in this reaction, 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is involved. Suppose 1 molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is involved, means 1 NADH2 produced, but 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate involved in this reaction. So because of that, 2 molecules of NADH2 produced. Okay, so in the reaction, 2 NADH2 produced and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Okay, for reference purpose, you can see my last video. Okay, so next 2 NADH2 is produced. 1 NADH2 is equal to the 3 ATP. So 1 NADH2 is equal to 3 ATP means, again, if the 2 NADH2 involved in the reaction, so then 2 into 1 NADH2 equal to 3 ATP into 2 means total ATP is 6 ATPs. Okay, so 6 ATPs produced in this reaction. So here see this reaction, the 6 ATPs okay, so the first 4 ATPs, so this 4 ATPs synthesized directly in the glycolysis. Okay, so because of this ATP synthesis is called substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation. Okay, so substrate level phosphorylation means, what is the meaning of phosphorylation? Phosphorylation means synthesis of ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate. That reaction is called phosphorylation. So this ATP is directly synthesized in the substrate level. Substrate level means during the pathway only this ATP is synthesized. So 2 ATPs in this reaction and another 2 ATPs in this reaction. So totally 4 ATPs directly synthesized in the glycolysis. So because of this kind of ATP synthesis is called substrate level phosphorylation. So the ATPs is present in the this blue box. That ATPs is called substrate level ATPs. That ATP is synthesized directly in the glycolysis pathway. This 2 ATP and again this 2 ATP. So this kind of ATPs is called substrate level phosphorylation. So another ATPs, that is the ATPs is synthesized. So I will represent this ATPs with black box. So see here in this black box, okay, so the 2 NADH2 enter into the electron transport system. So in the electron transport system, the NADH2 oxidized. So during the oxidation of NADH2, there is a production of ATPs. For one NADH2, how many ATPs is produced? 3 ATP molecules produced from one NADH2. Okay, so for one NADH2, 3 ATP. But how many NADH2 produced in the reaction? 2 NADH2. So 3 ATP into 2. So totally how many ATP? 6 ATP. So 6 ATP is produced in the glycolysis. So this 6 ATPs is produced from the NADH2. So this kind of ATPs is called oxidative phosphorylation. So why it is called oxidative phosphorylation? Oxidative phosphorylation means ATP is synthesized because of the oxidation of the NADH2 in the electron transport system. So this kind of ATPs is called, that is oxidative phosphorylation ATPs. Oxidative phosphorylation. Okay, so this 6 ATPs is called oxidative phosphorylation ATPs. So totally how many ATPs synthesized in the glycolysis? So 2 plus 2, 4 plus 6. So totally 10 ATP molecules produced in the glycolysis. Out of 10 ATPs, 2 ATP molecules consumed in the initial reactions. So because of that, you have to substrate these 2 ATP molecules. Okay, so 10 minus 2 ATP means how many ATP? That is 8 ATP molecules. So totally the number of ATPs produced in the glycolysis, that is 8 ATPs. So in some books they given glycolysis will produce as the 8 ATPs. But in some books they given information like the glycolysis will produce as the 6 ATPs. So what is correct? 8 ATPs is correct or 6 ATPs is correct? So according to our calculation, 8 ATPs is produced in the glycolysis. So 6 ATPs is also correct. So in which condition 6 ATPs is correct, or in which condition 8 ATPs is correct? So that we will discuss in the next video, that is glycerol phosphate shuttle pathway. So if you can understand the glycerol phosphate shuttle pathway, then you can understand why the 6 ATPs is correct or why the 8 ATPs is correct. Okay, so for understanding this confusion about 6 ATPs and 8 ATPs in glycolysis, please watch my next video, that is glycerol phosphate shuttle pathway. So students, so this is the calculation of the ATPs in the glycolysis. So if you have any doubts related to this video, you can comment in the comment section. I will reply to your questions. Otherwise, you can visit my Telegram channel also. So in Telegram, YATAM, Atom, SURYA, Surya. So please send me messages to that particular Telegram channel. Then I will give replies from the Telegram also. Okay, so please subscribe my channel and share these videos to your friends. So during the lockdown time, so many students have trouble during the studies. So now there is no problem because all the schools reopen. So but the problem is like if you have any, this is the 11th portion. So if you have any doubts in the 11th portion in any time, you can visit my YouTube channel and you can get clarification related to your doubts. Okay, thank you very much for watching my channel. All the best. We will meet in the next video.